Hi, Algebra. We're going to do a lesson on systems of inequalities. This is really going to be a simple thing. It's just one step more than something you've learned last chapter. Last chapter we learned how to graph, for instance, if it was y is greater than x plus 1, we learned how to graph that. Treat it just like if it was an equation and it's already in slope-intercept form. The y-intercept is going to be positive 1, and the slope is going to be 1, so up 1 over 1. And we would have a straight line through there, except it's going to be dotted because it's greater than. So it's not including that line. So I'm going to do a dashed line. And y is greater than means everybody above is going to be shaded in. Okay? The only wrinkle that this section is going to give you is it's going to give you two different inequalities. So let's say there was another one. Y is less than or equal to 2x plus 4, maybe. Okay? Actually, you know what? Let me move it down just a tiny bit because I want to make sure that my graph doesn't have to be crazy. So 2x plus 2. All right? So, I've already graphed this one, so let me get that out of the way just so it's not confusing. And now I'm going to graph this one on the same graph. Y is less than or equal to, so I can do a solid line. The y-intercept is going to be 2, and the slope is going to be 2. So up 2 and to the right 1. And so my line this time is going to be more like that. And it's less than. So here's what you have to think. This is the only confusing part. Remember my graph before was everything above the dotted line? This graph is going to be everybody below this line. And so now I just have to think, where is the place where they overlap? It's not going to be here or here. None of that is overlapping. But the place that is below the solid line and above the dotted line is going to be this section in here. Does that make sense? Okay? So, again, the only mental gymnastics you're going to have to do is you graph both of the inequalities that they give you. And then the only part that's a little bit, challenging at all is just trying to get your head around which parts overlap. There will usually be like a little piece of the pie like this. The only time that it would not happen like that is if you had parallel lines. Then it's possible that they don't overlap at all. But most of the time it's going to look something like this. Okay? That's all for systems of inequalities.